Hello and welcome to No Spanish Fly Box. I hope you're all well. Today we're going to tie a diptera, and it will be almost in spent fashion. Now, a diptera, as you'll know, is a fly that has two wings, and there are around 1.5 million of the species, although only about 150,000 of them have been catalogued. Their main reason is to lay eggs, the larvae hatch, and then the flies mate. The female goes off and lays her eggs, and the male falls to the water. That's when it becomes sometimes extremely difficult when you're dry fly fishing, and so this fly can come in very, very handy. Now, in the vise I have a size 20 dry fly hook, and I'm using size 12 black thread. So I'm going to start it just a little bit behind the eye, so we've got room to tie the head and tie the fly off. Just trim that off and tie it down. And we're going right to the very end of the straight, like so. Now, for the rib, we're going to use the center stalk of a hackle. And this is a blue dun, and we need to take off all of these fibers so that we can use the stem as the rib. The quality of the the quality of the feather may be important. They are inclined to snap if they're a bit dry. So be careful. I'm just going to trim that point off, and we will not need the thicker part at the bottom. So I'll tie this in and tie it down. And wind the thread back up to the thorax area. Right, now before I wind this, I'm going to put some glue on the fly on the thread here, just to hold the stalk in place, the quill in place, and hopefully protect it a little bit from the teeth of all the trout. Wind this in an open rib, and really the amount of turns will depend upon the size of the hook that you're using, up to the thorax area, and tie that off. Make sure you tie off the stalk well, because they are inclined to slip. So just trim that off. Right, now for the separation of the wing, I'm going to use a little bit of floss, black floss, and I'm just going to double that over. And tie it in. Top, like so. And trim off the excess. Tidy that up a little. Like so. Now for the wing, we're going to use just one CDC feather, and this is going to be natural CDC, natural brown. So I'm just going to take off all the fluff off the bottom there, and we're going to tie it in flat and facing backwards. Like so. Just bend up the stalk and trim it off. Like so. Right. And then bring it forward, like so. And tie it down. and pull back all these fibres, and this will be the wing. You don't need a lot because it's a very small fly, and I'm going to put another wrap under there and trim this off. Right, now before I tie that down completely, I'm going to put a wrap behind there. I'm going to put on a little bit of hare's ear for the thorax, and I'm going to use the darkest fibre that I can find at the top of the ears here. Now you won't need a lot. And just wind that on. Move that out of the way. There. And now to separate the wing, separate them the best you can to make them as even as possible, and pull the floss over the top. And tie off. And I'm just going to move this up in the vise a little bit so that the thread doesn't run off. Trim up the floss. And put a little bit of glue on the thread before I tie it off. And trim off the tie thread. Right, now as far as the wings are concerned, they are going back slightly, but just a little bit over the length of the fly, like so. Hopefully you can see what that looks like. As I said, this is for very much difficult days when things are really hard. This fly could just solve the problem for you. I hope you enjoyed that. Do hit the bell and become a subscriber if you're not already a subscriber. Give it a thumbs up, share it, do pass a comment if you wish, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.